Welcome to Forum International English News Web TV. News from Italy. Politics. Silvio Berlusconi has fallen. The vote in Palazzo Madama arrived at 5 p.m. A vote for the forfeiture of the night after being convicted in the magistrate process on the basis of the law Severino, PD, M5S, SEL and Scelta Civica. We voted against Forza Italia, GAL, Nuovo Centrodestra and Lega. The decline came after Berlusconi were rejected by all 9 agendas, contrary to the decision of the election committee, which was in favor. Pedophilia. The clients of baby prostitute issue are now reporting themselves. It becomes an increasingly long list of men in Rome, mostly in their 40s and professionals who are in charge of the police station to confess their crime. Or rather to tell half-truths about the scandal of the Lolitas, who has so far led 6 people in prison. The so-called customers gradually are presenting for reporting themselves, showing in most cases nervous and under pressure, telling that they have had dealing with a baby prostitute, convinced that they were very young, but at least 18 years old. Finance. More money to fund social card with a chance to experience some cities in RMIE. A greater sacrifice required to rise with the introduction of the solidarity surcharge of 6% since the annual allowance of €90,000 to get a cut of 80% for those in excess of €193,000. There are contained in the latest Maxi amendment to the law of stability on which the government has obtained the vote of confidence by the Senate. News from Silse. It was approved by the Italian Senate the extension of the social card for immigrants. It will be given to as well as Italians, even the EU citizens or family members of Italian people, or EU citizens who are not national of a member state and who have the right of residence or the right of residence permit, or foreign nationals in possession of a residence permit and for easy long-term residence. The social card is a credit card on which the state charging €80 every 2 months to be used to buy food or medicines or to pay bills or electricity and gas. Is granted to children under 3 years or to the elderly by 65 years up to most in need. In both cases, in fact, among other requirements, there is an indicator of equivalent economic situation under €6,700 per year. News from foreign countries. Bahamas. At least 30 Haitian migrants have died within sight of one of the playgrounds of the world's wealthy the Bahamas. Another 110 people were rescued from the overloaded wooden sloop which capsized near Stanley Say. U.S. Coast Guard and Royal Bahamas Defense Force units dropped inflatable dinghies to take the pressure off the huddle of bodies clinging to the upturned hull and get people out of the water until they could be rescued. Rough weather with nearly 50 winds and 1.5 meters of swell hampered the operation, but there is no indication of why the sloop got into difficulties. Many migrants from the Caribbean region often sail through the Bahamas as they try to reach America, but the U.S. Coast Guard say the number they have picked up is this year from Haiti is the lowest in 15 years. Afghanistan, Kabul. When President Hamid Karzai met with an audience of supporters gathered by the Afghan state television network RTA 6 months ago, he was asked what he would consider a favorable conclusion to the security negotiation he was conducting with the United States. "It is favorable if they surrender to us," he said. In the face of a warning delivered in person on Monday by the National Security Advisor Susan E. Rice that the United States would consider relieving no troops at all in Afghanistan past 2014 if Mr. Karzai did not promptly sign a long-term security agreement, he has made it clear that he considers it a bluff. Not only did he refuse to sign, he added conditions, including the release of all inmates from the Guantanamo Bay prison camp. He is in effect betting billions of dollars in international assistance that the United States does not want to go. His close aides have echoed that assessment through the recent days of diplomatic crisis. "We don't believe there's any zero option," a spokesman said. But their optimism was not widely shared in Afghanistan on Tuesday as Ms. Rice flew back to Washington with no promise of the follow-up talks Mr. Karzai said he wanted to pursue. Libya. Libya's deputy prime minister has called for calm after Monday's clashes in Benghazi between official forces and militia left 9 people dead. Still in training, Libyan troops are struggling to establish control across the country over armed militias who, after fighting in the uprising against Muammar Gaddafi, refused to disarm. Libya's government is determined to rein in the gunmen. What happened clearly reflects the need to speed up the implementation of Resolution number 53 for the year 2013 and evacuate all armed groups from the city and to only support security of the army and police. Ordinary Libyans are angry at the chaos that militias are inflicting on the country. Monday's pursuit of an Islamist militia suspected by the army, which triggered the fighting in the gates, a long-awaited unwillingness by official forces to confront the gunmen. For further news, updates and events on our web TV, please visit our website www.forumipress.tv, www.forumpress.it. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.